So, haven't dated in over a year. Haven't had a boyfriend in 6 years. And going on a date after work today. Bit of head noise about it. Bit of head noise. We've rescheduled 3 times. We're meeting at a bar. Don't know what to wear. Bought a top to change from work. Do I even go to that much effort? I don't know. And the worst thing about it is that I know within the first 5 minutes that she's a fucking weirdo. And the best thing about it is it's during the week. So it doesn't eat into my weekend. Win-win.
If you can't find a man in 2026, it's not because there's no good men out there. It's because you're looking in the same freaking place as every other freaking single girl. Dating apps? Nope. Instagram DMs? Absolutely not, because the guys that you will find on there are going to be talking to you and 100 other girls at the exact same time. Sorry, Jennifer, but you're not the exception. You're not going to find a good man where talk is cheap. They can find anyone on there, honestly. So find a good man where effort is required. The gym at 7 a.m. in the morning. You gotta be a good fucking person with drive to get your ass there. Networking events. All of those things have something to lose if you don't show up for yourself. But let's be honest, some of you don't want a good man or don't want it enough. I'm sick and tired of people saying, where are all the good men? Like, they're not hiding, baby. So stop ignoring the ones who actually want you and chasing the ones who don't. Finding a man in 2026 isn't hard. Okay, picking the right one seems to be the issue here. Let's be fucking for real. Also walking away from the ones that aren't the right ones. Like, we got a lot of us out there that are just going back to Jim Bob Jr. when he does the wrong thing, or we know he's not the right one. So let's not settle and go back, because you're not gonna find the right one. You're wasting the time with the wrong one.
Y'all, so newly single, testing out the waters, seeing what's in this dating pool. There ain't shit here, but there was a guy recently who was like, I was like, do you think I'm crazy? And he was like, no, but I do have opinions. And I was like, well, what's your opinion? Let me know. And he was like, well, I think you're conceited. And I was like, as I should be. Because if I was insecure, then you would say that I was insecure and crazy. So he's like, well, I'd rather you be insecure so I could control you. What? No. Never will happen, and I'll stick to being conceited and uncontrollable. Thank you.
Leftover women are panicking in numbers as they finally realize men have completely checked out of the dating market in 2026. You spent years calling good men boring, weak, or not exciting enough while chasing the carousel. Now the same men you overlooked have walked away for good, and suddenly, where are all the good men videos are everywhere. This isn't a mystery, it's the direct result of your own choices.
I'm literally shaking because I just left the day where a guy was like, if you're not gonna go home with me, I'm not gonna pay for the check. And then he was calling me weird, he was calling me names, he was calling me ugly. And long story short, a waiter comes up to us and he's like, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but the gentleman from a table right there just covered your check. And I was like, wait, what? Long story short, the guy ended up asking me out. I guess we're going out. I don't know what's going on tonight, but it's crazy.
I'm really trying not to crash out right now, but I'm actually really pissed. Matched with this guy on Hinge. He's really chatty, funny, playful, asked for my number. We were going to go out tomorrow night, right? Text me, hey, here's my Instagram, creep if you want to. So I look him up on Instagram. It's private, so I click follow. Go back to Hinge. Unmatched me. I was like, oh, that's weird. Like, maybe because he already has my number. And then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go see if he accepted my follow request. Blocked on Instagram. So how is that supposed to make me feel? Like, I know I probably shouldn't be looking into it. Like, maybe he's just not interested. But I'm like, did he look at my Instagram and think I was ugly? Like, I am really having a hard time with dating, and I don't know how to make that not about me, because that really hurt my feelings. Like, what? I just don't understand these freaking men. I am so over this. I don't want to be doing this. And I know this is how you find people, but at what cost?
I feel really bad for the people who are dating in 2026, because the options out there for men, specifically for women who are looking for men, it's really bad. It's really bad options out there. Because it's like, you can get like the really hot guy, but chances are he's probably a fucking sociopath. But then you kind of like, oh, okay, like I'll go with the super nice guy, like the safe guy. And then he ends up being like a mama's boy and doesn't want to work or provide or like do anything. And like, whatever, that could be a whole different conversation, but like, it's really bad. It's really bad out here.
Women complaining that men aren't approaching anymore in 2026. Of course they're not. You turned every hello into a potential harassment accusation or viral shame video. Men calculated the risk versus reward and decided peace at home beats navigating your minefield of entitlement. You wanted men to leave you alone, and now you're panicking because they actually listened.
I don't know how to explain this, but I feel like in the past week or so, like the whole dating and talking to people has just come to an absolute halt. Like, I didn't really care about it. Like, I've not been speaking to someone for a while now, like, or like texting like her or whatever. And like, all of a sudden, in this past week, I'm thinking, where is everyone? Where's everyone new? Like, you know, when you scroll on Instagram, you're like, oh, you're fit, follow. I'm not even getting that anymore. Like, where is everyone? Because suddenly, the phrase plenty more fish in the sea, that's not working anymore because they've all been fucking captured because everyone's got a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Where are you finding it? Like, not that I'm looking, it would just be nice to be like, oh, you're fit, double tap. Do you know what I mean? And like 3 pictures and sliding the DMs, that old chestnut, just a little bit of fun. But no, what is going on? Because I'm very confused right now. I'm just ugly.
At my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow.
Half of Gen Z men no longer actively even trying to date. They're not even trying. And so the question is, well, why is that happening for women? Women, first off, are dating older. They want more economically and emotionally viable men, and that usually means older men. In addition, when young women are lonely, they have much better social networks. They have much stronger friend networks, whereas guys become kind of lone wolves and kind of literally sequestered from everyone and everything.
Women admitting they can't connect with good men anymore. You trained yourselves to chase chaos and drama, then act shocked when calm, stable men no longer want anything to do with you. Those good men have checked out because they finally saw their value doesn't require tolerating disrespect or constant tests. Your peace now comes with loneliness.
So I'm going on a first date tomorrow, and I have some thoughts about it as a 30-something. Let me unpack that a little bit and also give you some context. So I am 32, and which is not old by any standard, maybe by some people's standards, but not by my own. I have 2 wolves inside of me. I am both a hopeless romantic and I am very independent, okay? I think the 2 can be the same person, i.e. me. But I feel that the older I get, the more I level my expectations when I go on dates, because I have a date scheduled tomorrow and I find myself wanting to keep my expectations super, super low. And by the way, I hate that I want to put my expectations low, but it's because I don't want to backslide into a place where I'm like, oh, if they don't like me, it's because no one will ever like me. And that's just my destiny. I go on a few dates with people. I feel that I market myself a certain way online, which is true to me. But then I might be someone that's just like not as good in person. And I hate to say that. I hate to say that out loud. But that's just sort of in my psyche sometimes when it comes to dating. That has been my experience as an adult. Is people are curious about me, but then they lose interest. And usually it's because of the physical. Everyone has a different flavor, and that's life. But yeah, it makes me really curious about how I'm going to continue to approach dating. I'm not one of those people that just goes on a bunch of dates. Like, I have a pretty selective process as far as I'm not going to go on a date with you just to see. I have to be pretty sure on some level we're going to click. I'm really trying not to be jaded, but I'm sort of feeling like the word jaded has gotten a bad rap because being jaded in my case or so means, oh, I'm just managing my expectations, which I don't think is a bad thing. And I feel like it's good to manage your expectations.
Dating in 2026 feeling impossible for single women. Translation: the dating pool dried up because high-value men opted out entirely. You rejected the nice guys years ago for lacking spark. Now you're left with the leftovers while those men enjoy gym, money, and zero drama. The market shifted, and you're the ones left scrambling.
All women are 304s. Nope. There is no such thing as traditional women anymore. Wrong. Women simply aren't worth it. What does that even mean? I am so tired of all of this negativity. Are you going to insist that masculinity is about growth, suffering, and overcoming difficult things? And then just not date because it's hard? Are some of you really so pessimistic and self-hating that you will just resign yourself to never feeling love and affection? Are you really going to sit here and insist that you have all of the answers to dating and then just refuse to pass those answers on to a woman who is ready and willing to please you? Tell me, what battle are you even fighting? You insist there's a problem, but you aren't trying to actually solve it? What is the point of all of this other than to just kick and scream? There are a lot of great women out there looking for men with your values. Go meet them, be strong in your convictions, and enjoy the life that you can create with them. Because the negativity has got to stop.
Hear me out. I think emotionally available daters are having the hardest time dating in modern dating in 2026. So for context, I'm a doctoral candidate. I research emotions, and a lot of my research focuses on the emotional experiences of women. So just combined with what I've heard in studies that I've done I focus on teacher burnout, emotional labor, but combined with that, in relation to just conversations I've had and a conversation I had with a best friend of mine recently, I've started to think through this. So this is what I'm thinking, that affectively or emotionally available people are having the hardest time because in dating, we've just become so rewired to expect people to be capricious and to expect uncertainty. We're so used to rostering and churn. We're so used to go on a few dates with someone, that person falls off the roster, we add someone on. And so I think that when we have an emotionally available dater who knows what they want, they're giving clear communication, boundaries, consistency, follow through, intentionality. And I think that that can be conflated with pressure. That for people who aren't used to experiencing those things and they're used to not hearing from someone for 36 hours or only getting a date planned in the last minute, that's what we have come to understand the baseline of dating is.
Women opting out of dating too, but only after men already checked out first. Funny how you call it self-care when you're the ones who pushed men away with endless standards and zero accountability. Men didn't opt out because they're scared. They did it because dealing with modern entitlement isn't worth the headache or the financial risk.
I have made the decision to opt out of dating for next year and for the foreseeable future, honestly, because I'm just uninterested. I'm unattached. I'm ending this year single with no talking stages, no situationships, no relationship, nothing. Like, it's literally me. And that feels really good because at the beginning of this year, I was in a relationship. We broke up. I was single all summer. I've been single. I'm still single. But I did decide to give a few people a chance and just to like do it for the plot, you know, see where things go. Maybe ease into talking to men again. They reminded me exactly why I don't. Now, for the foreseeable future, I am opted out of dating. I don't want to go on dates. I don't want to talk to a man in a romantic way at all. I honestly don't even think I want male friends. Like, I don't want to get to know any men. I don't. I even gave guys a chance that are not my typical type. Like many of you have suggested, give someone a chance. It's not your type. Try someone new. Step outside the box. No. I will be sticking with my type if I do decide to date in the future. I just want to hear the story about the one who really gave me the ick. Like, I don't know what he did, but he figured out what every single one of my icks were and like did all of them. And I had to cut him off and block him because he was just, I gave this man a chance. He's like the opposite of everything that I would go for. And this is exactly why I don't go for that.
Women talking about making men regret walking away in 2026. Too late. Those men you pushed out have already rebuilt stronger without you and have zero interest in coming back. You created the conditions for men to check out completely. Now you're panicking because the consequences finally arrived at your door.
How to make a man regret losing you. How to make a man regret walking away from you. Now, I know it is your dying wish for that man to come walking back into your life. So let's make him regret that situation so hard. Number one, stop talking. Stop texting. No closure text. You do not need to send a hope you're well. Absolutely fucking not. Do not explain your feelings like a fucking PowerPoint because that will do absolutely nobody good. Beg. Don't chase. And don't try to remind him of who you are because he knows. And if you stop reminding, he will actually remember. Listen to me very carefully. Men don't regret women that they still have access to. Yeah. So disappear. Do whatever the fuck you need to do to upgrade yourself. Go to the gym. Look better. Be better. Make more money. I don't give a shit. New routines, higher standards. No more tolerating the bare fucking minimum. Stop saying you deserve better and go and just fucking do it. You didn't lose him. He lost total access to you. And that will come in the back of his head and make him fucking miss you. The silence is deafening, and that's a consequence for him. Just stay hot and unavailable to that man.
Single women navigating adulthood in 2026 and admitting how hard it is. You wanted independence until the bills, loneliness, and empty weekends hit. Men checked out because they saw the pattern. Offer respect and get treated like an option. Now the leftover women are learning that equality means carrying the full load alone.
Many women I know have started dating women. 62% of men, right, under 30 not trying to date. What's happening?
And that is men mature later. A boy's prefrontal cortex is 18 months behind a girl. The girl is basically competing against a 10th grade girl. Boys have better gross motor skills. They're faster and stronger. Girls have greater fine motor skills. Their hands, their oral skills, asking questions. Look at the behaviors we promote or encourage in primary school. Sit still, be a pleaser, be organized, raise your hand.
Mm-hmm.
You just described a girl. When you digitize the mating market, people used to meet through friends, through work, and through school. Now they primarily meet online. When you digitize the mating market, you end up in the following environment. 50 men on Tinder, 50 women. 46 of the women will show all of their attention to the same 4 men, which leaves 46 men fighting over 4 women. This discourages men. And unfortunately, they have a very seductive, godlike technology telling them they can have a reasonable facsimile of life online. Why go through the effort of having friends when you have Discord and Reddit? Why put on a tie and try and get a job when you can make money trading crypto or stocks on Robinhood or Coinbase? And why would you go through the effort of looking good, smelling nice, the expense, the resilience, the potential rejection?
Do you guys remember when, like, in middle school, when boys wanted to get your attention, they would be mean or they would try to make you jealous, thinking that that would make you want them? Why are there grown adults still doing this? Mind you, especially to, like, if you guys broke up and they left you for a certain reason, and then they do that same thing thinking that's going to make you come back. Are you okay? Like, you're making it so much easier for the person to be able to move on. You're, like, thinking that you're eating is insane. Like, in 2026, can we, be our age and actually show it and not be, like, giant babies, please? Because, like, I can just laugh sometimes because I see this all the time, and it's truly insane. Not even, like, with me. I mean, that happened with me, too, but, like, just in general. Like, y'all are just making it easier for the person that left you to move on. Like, that's exactly, you're supposed to be doing the opposite, not showing them that they dodged the bullet.
Women cutting off men who no longer serve their needs. This is exactly why men checked out in masses. You turned relationships into transactions where only your feelings matter. High-value men saw the red flags early and exited the game, leaving you with fewer options and louder complaints.
I got a question for the fellas because I'm trying to understand the dynamic now and how all this got misconstrued. Why is it that men nowadays, when it comes to dating, they don't believe in pursuing a woman, aka chasing a woman? What is the big issue with a man pursuing a woman? I don't just mean you making the first move. I mean like you actively pursuing this woman, calling her, texting her, planning dates. Why is it now we're in this day and age where men are like, oh, you could call me, oh, I was waiting on you to call me, I was waiting on you to text me, I was waiting on you to make the first move? For what? Criticize me all y'all want, but I am an old-fashioned girly. I was raised by my grandmothers. I believe in the old school ways and how things are supposed to go. If you that type of man where you think you are the prize, honestly, this video ain't for you, because I believe that women are the prize, because we're the ones that get chose. We're the ones that get picked. When a man findeth a wife, a man findeth a good thing. And I'm not even the type of woman to sit up here and think that I'm equal to a man. I think that a man is most definitely above me. My husband is for sure above me. Your heavenly father, your husband, everything else immediately after that. I'm not the one to sit up here and try to say I'm equal to a man and we on the same. No, we not. A man is above me. My husband is above me. So let's get that clear and out the way. Boom. My biggest issue that I have in my dating life is men are so lazy. I was waiting on you to call me. I was waiting on you to text me. No, sir. You asked me for my number. I gave it to you. It's up to you to call me, check on me, see how I'm doing. You're trying to get me. This is my thing. I don't ever make the first move on a man. I let men come get me. You want me? Come get me. If a man really wants you, he's going to come get you. It's not nothing extra I gotta do. It's not, no. If you want me, you're going to come get me. And the lesson that I learned in my previous relationships was never let a man tell you he don't want you more than once. So when I give you my number and you don't call me or you do all that, that's basically telling me you don't want me. Y'all have no problem pursuing your education. You have no problem pursuing your career. You have no problem pursuing your goals. A house when you want a house, a car. So why is it y'all have an issue with pursuing a woman, a marriage? Because y'all are the ones that pick us for marriage. We don't pick y'all. Y'all get on one knee. This is why I don't date now. I ain't been on a date in a year. And that is exactly why. It's because I'm so sick of men. Oh, I was waiting on you to call me. Well, you're gonna be waiting till you dead. If you pay attention to like older couples that have like years in, yeah, she didn't really like me at first and she used to curve me and then I finally got her. Like, what happened to that? Y'all don't even want the pursuit of a good woman anymore. And I know I'm a good woman. Hell, I got a good career. I have ambition. I have goals. I have drive. I have things going for myself. I know how to treat a man when I have one. So what is the big issue with pursuing a good woman?
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Women frustrated that American men are content being bachelors in 2026. Of course they are. They finally realize single life brings more peace, money, and freedom than dealing with constant criticism and zero reciprocity. You mocked men for wanting traditional roles. Now you're shocked they won't play at all.
There are single men in their 30s who have their lives together and just haven't found the one yet for some reason. So if I was a single lady in my 30s and I wanted to meet you, where would be the best place to go? Just asking for a friend. Please let me know in the comments. Thanks.
Being single, they're definitely enjoying it more than they used to before. And because I see it, you know, it's gotten harder to date, you know, lately. Men are very like satisfied in their lives without women. They are. They're like, you know, working a lot, either working a lot, or if they're not working, then, you know, they'll hang out with their friends, with their family, with their kids. Well, with their kids, it's a given. But yeah, they're happy being, if they're not married.
Right. Well, go find yourself a boyfriend then, babe. You don't chase. Well, what do you mean? That's your job. What do you do then? What do you do? You're not fulfilling your job as a man on this planet, okay? What do you do? Tell me. Please explain. Oh, I don't chase. I also don't have a head frame. Or any social skills or a fully developed frontal lobe. Because I don't chase. Also, when guys are complaining about gold diggers, but their side table is a cardboard box, and all they can afford to buy you is a piece of chicken, babe, gold diggers go after Ferraris, not a plate of food.
Figured it out. It's because before, hot women were a rare commodity. Now everyone is just way too hot. It's easy for girls to get hot, right? And now it's like when you see a desirable, high value man, they have way too many options. And girls don't have options anymore. And it's so frustrating because it's like, people would kind of date in their lane, if you know what I mean. Before there was like fillers and Botox and hair and cute outfits and spray tans and all that stuff. People would date in their lane. Now, everyone's hot and no, men can't do any type of like plastic surgery or height surgery or whatever. And with women working and men working equal pay, that's also a rare thing. So, ladies, we need to figure out a way to make men suck again. Sorry, they do suck. That's my point. They do suck. We just need to even out the ratio here. We're too hot. Men need to catch up to us.
Women saying character suddenly matters after years of chasing the opposite. The dating pool looks empty because good men with character checked out long ago. You filtered them out for not being tall, rich, or exciting enough. Now you're left wondering why only low-effort options remain while those quality men enjoy their exit.
For the first time in history, women aren't marrying men for financial stability or material things, just solely based on their character, and we're all single. Yeah, it turns out when women started choosing based on personality, maturity, emotional intelligence, consistency, basic human decency, the dating pool started looking like a clearance rack at 3 a.m. So now here we all are, single together. Back in the day, men had 2 job requirements. 1, don't die. 2, provide. Boom, marriage, done. Okay, now women are like, I want a man who communicates. And suddenly the population dropped to 6. They want accountability, self-awareness, healing, growth, a man who can express a feeling without glitching. And we're all just collectively struggling with these new rules. Like, women finally said, okay, we'll handle our own money, our own careers, our own stability. Now show us who you are. And men everywhere were like, oh, you meant like personality. So, yeah, that's why everyone's single. Because the moment character entered the chat, half the roster evaporated. So, yeah, great. Happy New Year, everyone.
Like, let's normalize being in a dating drought, a hookup drought, a sex drought, like whatever it is. Like
all the above.
We all go through droughts, but people are afraid to talk about them. Maybe because they're afraid of like being judged of like, oh, well, this person can't get a date. Like nobody wants to date them, but that's not the case. And I actually think like what you're doing, taking time off or just like deprioritizing dating.
That's exactly what it is.
Best thing you can do for yourself.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think it's been really fun. I feel like I've been so much more focused on, I have a bunch of trips coming up with my girlfriends. Like I've spent some time with family this summer, and being able to do those things and literally not worry about if someone's going to text me back or, when our next date is going to be has been like, I feel very like free from it all right now. And again, if you talk to me in 4 months, I'll probably be like, oh my God, I'm like, no one wants to date me. But like right now it feels good. And that's what it should be, right? Like that's what all of this should be.
Women wondering why they can't find men who will commit? Because men watched how you treated commitment in the past and decided the risk isn't worth it anymore. You wanted the benefits without the responsibility, so men took the only logical route. Complete checkout from the dating market.
Extremely fucked up news I have heard recently is that if you're at a bar, okay, they did a study on this, it takes a man 29 flirty glances from you within a 10-minute period. 20 fucking 9 for him to register that you're interested and that you want him to approach you. 29. And that number goes up the more objectively attractive, charismatic, and hot you are. 20 fucking 9. So even if you think that this man knows that you're interested, he likely has no fucking clue.
How many men do you think are gonna crash out tonight and tomorrow because there's a drought on hoes and women aren't on the dating apps like they used to be? I can think about 2 in my life right now doing crazy stuff as we speak.
Women finally realizing men are opting out and calling it male scarcity. It's not scarcity. It's men protecting their peace after years of being used as walking ATMs and emotional punching bags. Leftover women are panicking in numbers because the comfortable single life they bragged about is hitting them harder than they expected.
Why is it so hard dating in 2026? Somebody answer that for me. Quickly. So, hey besties, let's talk about why is it hard dating in 2026. Now, I'm going to speak specifically for Gen Z. I can't speak for no other generation. But for Gen Z, I personally feel like it's a accountability thing on both ends, and I'm going to tell you why. But I do think it's mostly the men's fault. Don't hate me. But you do have your guys who only come to a girl because they want to have sex. They only stringing her along or being with her because they don't want to see nobody else with her. Or they want to do everything under the sun that's a relationship thing, but don't want the commitment or the responsibility. And I mean, it could be vice versa. But most females I know, we don't do casual. We know what we want, and we want to be in a relationship. We want to be in love. Like, we don't do casual. I will also say, you dudes, y'all prefer the girl who shake her butt for social media, who don't have no ambition, not chasing no dreams or goals or any of that, versus the girl on this side who's working, taking care of herself, chasing her dreams, and has ambition and dedicating herself to something to better herself. Y'all don't like the good girl. And I don't know why. And I was just asking somebody, like, I work 2 jobs. I got my own car. I'm in school. I'm doing something with my life. But why is it that the good girl never wins? Why? But on the other hand, y'all go to the girl with no self-respect and y'all treat her so right. And then when she do you wrong, you go back to the good girl and you try to take that behavior or that hurt out on her for the bad decision that you made. But I feel like it also can go hand in hand with females taking out their hurt and anger on a good dude. Because I will say, it's coming up on a year since I've been out of my relationship. And sometimes I do still get iffy about it. And I'm like in therapy and stuff to like resolve my emotions or whatever and my anger from that. But I found myself taking it out on a dude who did not deserve it. A dude who was taking me out, paying for stuff and all of that. And I took out my anger on him. And I don't even know why. Like, I couldn't tell you. Like, I don't even know why. But it's like, he didn't deserve that. And I think a lot of us need to stop trying to jump from, and this is what my counselor told me. A lot of us need to stop jumping from person to person, trying to get a distraction, and take a step back to heal and unpack the necessary baggage we need to, instead of going to hurt somebody else who don't deserve it. And while I do think it's mostly the dude's fault, I know I can take accountability for the person that I hurt. Or, like all of us need, because I'm sure all of us have treated somebody some way that we're not proud of. And we should all take accountability. Or we should all just, I don't really know. I don't have the answer all the way. But like, I just want to know, what do y'all think makes dating hard? Because for me, that's what I think it is. And that's why I'm taking a step back. Because I don't want nobody around me. Leave me alone. Like, for real. Okay, bye.
Women claiming it's not hard to find a man in 2026 if you just look. Except the men worth finding have already checked out and set strong boundaries. You burned bridges with the good ones years ago. Now you're left searching in the same toxic circles, while quality men stay far away from the drama.
Here are a few things you probably didn't know about Mormon dating culture. First is girls are taught that they should always say yes. This is basically the first commandment of Mormon dating. The equation is basically that since the boy was willing to go out on a limb and put himself out there and ask for the date, the girl's responsibility is that she should always say yes to the first date. Marriage is typically discussed by the third date. This might not be something like a proposal, but typically by the first date, the couple must decide if they want to stop dating exclusively or if they're going to be official. Being official as a couple, boyfriend-girlfriend, is essentially synonymous with putting yourself on the marriage path. You're only supposed to pair off with people who are marriage material. So, the third date is the deciding date, typically, where couples decide if they're going to pair off and get on this crazy marriage path, or if they're going to split. Boys serve a 2-year mission, so this creates a very interesting scenario in which girls must decide if they will wait for 2 years for a guy they're into, or if they are going to date the dudes with a pulse who are not on their missions and are right in front of them. Some girls opt to wait for their missionary, and so they end up waiting for 2 years with only being able to contact these boys via letter. To me, often created this fantasy land that the girls would engage with, where the boy is very much off for 2 years, and the girl is very much fantasizing about this righteous man who will come home, sweep her off her feet, and marry her. But if the girl gets sick of fantasizing about this missionary, she will Dear John him, which is basically writing a letter to say she's not willing to wait anymore, and she found someone not on a mission to date and pair off with, or that she's just bored and she would like to date people who are available. Before you're 18, you're not supposed to split off, so you're not really supposed to date exclusively. And so before 18, there's a lot of group dates, which is always super funny because most kids want to pair off with someone before they're 18, but it's pretty frowned upon because it's supposed to limit your opportunity to experience lots of different types of people. So there's a lot of church dances, there's a lot of group dates to go get ice cream, but often you'll find that within the group dates, people are pairing off anyway, because it's kind of teenage human nature. Because Mormons can't go get a drink at a bar, Mormons can't go grab some coffee, and so this means that essentially all of the dates always have to be very PG fun. So this could be a board game night, or bowling, or hiking, which is honestly kind of a fun aspect of Mormon dating culture.
The men have finally started to get sick of modern dating. The other day I was talking to one of my friends and he told me that he's deleted Hinge because he's sick of all his dates being the same and being unfulfilling and being boring. Finally, the men have caught up. Women have been saying it for years. We have had the conversation about how modern dating is unfulfilling, how it's not really giving us what we need, people don't want to find real connections, it's empty, blah, 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 blah. We've done this. But now the men are starting to realize that. The men are starting to have those conversations. Why? Because everybody wants connection. Everybody wants intimacy. And I think men are finally starting to realize that the way that they're conducting themselves and the way that they are searching for romance and intimacy is empty and it is unfulfilling. I think the excitement and drama that comes from having options and chasing new experiences, it's just no longer as fulfilling as it once was. I think as a woman, this is a really interesting shift to witness in real time because we've been saying for ages that modern dating is unfulfilling because the men do not seem to find value in deep, meaningful, mutual connection. Well, now there's this shift happening where the men are realizing that their methods of conducting themselves in the dating world are leaving them also unfulfilled. Interesting to see what comes of this.
Women still demanding traditional treatment while acting anything but traditional. Men checked out because they saw the double standard clearly. You want provision and protection, but offer zero peace or respect in return. The numbers don't lie. More women are panicking as the dating market reflects the choices they made.
What do you think most women misunderstand about male dating frustration?
Men want to settle down. If you look at the data, the most recent data around young men, they want families still, they want marriage, they want commitment, they want legacy, they want to build something. The problem with women is that women set the standards for how other women operate. This is called intersexual competition. And with social media, with Botox, filler, eyelashes, these standards, right, to create contrast, and women will empower or position women to engage in the same types of behaviors that they deem to be empowering, because they want to minimize the contrast between competition within the market. So all of that being said, women continue to present themselves in ways that do not align with male preference. Men will sleep with women who are attractive. They will engage with women that they are attracted to, but that does not mean that they will commit to the same bucket or tier of women that they lust over. Those are two very different strategies for men. And women don't understand that when men are looking for a long-term partner, they're looking for consistency, they're looking for emotional regulation, they're looking for loyalty, and they're looking for somebody that they can build a life with who has those qualities, the character traits, the morals, all of those things that are aligned with their vision. Men have a vision they want to bring to fruition. They're very purpose-driven. If the partner that they have in front of them is not somebody that they deem to be somebody who could support that vision, that purpose in their life, they're not going to commit to that. And unfortunately, women don't understand what men actually want for a long-term partner. They're all trying to keep up with the Joneses of other women who are getting a lot of attention because they fit the category of short-term mating and attraction, but they're not the caliber of women that men actually want to settle down with. And the more that women push other women to engage in these types of behaviors, the less that there is for men to choose from when it comes to long-term commitments.
So I've been casually dating this guy for the past 3 months, and we live across the country from each other. I live in Rhode Island and he lives in California. We met around Christmas when we were both home for the holidays, and we clicked, and we have been pretty consistently talking since then, like 7-hour FaceTimes. Very much both are not in a place where we're looking for a committed relationship. We weren't really looking for anything, but lo and behold, something seemed like it was there between us. So we continued talking, and he kept saying, like, are you actually going to come out and visit? Are you actually going to come out and visit? So I go to book the flight. He's like, oh, I feel like I need to, like, get a grip on what I'm saying. So he's like, I feel like I just don't want to send the wrong message. And I was like, no, we are completely on the same page. Like, we're getting to know each other. If maybe someday down the road, this turns into something, fine. If not, fine. Just very casually dating. So I end up booking the flight. This past weekend, I go and visit him. I had a great time. Couple bumps in the road, but I felt like we hadn't spent a ton of time in person, like literally one date. So I kind of anticipated obviously being like a little bit awkward at some times, but overall, I thought it went super well. We seemed to really click. There were a couple hard conversations we had to have, and I felt like we both were very much on the same page and spoke like adults to each other. Like it didn't seem contentious at all. It seemed very healthy. It seemed like very healthy communication. So then comes the time that I'm leaving. Like, mind you, we've been like cuddling intertwined, like going for hikes, like intertwined, like making out on like the blanket in a park, like his favorite place in the city, like just very intimate things. But still, I was like, no, like I am very happy with the way things are right now. I'm really enjoying getting to know you, but I'm not looking for a serious committed relationship.
You women told men for years that you don't need them and can do it all alone. Now leftover women are panicking in record numbers because men took those words seriously and completely checked out. This isn't men's fault. This is exactly the equality and independence you demanded. Enjoy the full experience. Thanks for watching Male Imperium. Please show us your love by subscribing to the channel using the bell icon. We're also up for debate and some healthy banter, so don't forget to comment under the video.